So Liverpool have got possession.
There will be a minimum of 4 minutes.
4 added minutes. And Gerrard! Stunning! When you need someone to stand up and be counted, to pull an absolute rabbit from a hat, Steven Gerrard has done just that. We know the name, son.
Well, take a bow, son. I mean that, take a bow.
All right, let's do it first in-person podcast with the boys. We're going to get started off with the biggest news of the summer so far, which is the fact that Scotty Gillis has signed for North Berwick Amateurs. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for that. Scotty, just if you could explain the game last night in a couple of sentences for North Berwick, how did it go?
Slow at the back.
Where were you playing?
Play left centre half. I've not got a left foot or a right foot. Lacking match fitness.
Was there any Virgil long range passes to the wingers?
There's a couple that nearly got out my own half. So lucky we had Fraz T, who's got a bit of pace behind me.
Right.
So I started off my career as a striker, came on as a sub for 20 minutes. Very next game, after one header, one shot off target the first game, I got put to centre half.
How many times you touched the ball?
6 probably.
6 times.
6 times, yeah.
Well, it's big news. It's big news. The
I
fact
actually signed the same day that Messi left Barca.
yeah, I mean, I was putting the notes together for this, and I was like, we'll start with Messi, and then I thought we have to start with your signing
It was a Messi start
of the pod. But we'll talk about Messi, lads, because that is probably the biggest news so far of the summer, and he's officially signed for PSG today. Before we just kind of get our thoughts on it, I was thinking today. I was actually Graham Hunter was on came on TalkSport. You know, the boy that does all the Spanish stuff, and they were talking about that Barca team under Pep and Xavi and Iniesta and all that, and it was like it's quite sad to see where Barcelona have gone actually. Yeah. Compared to now, and the fact that Messi has had to leave without even getting to do it in front of the fans in the stadium, and he was crying.
Something that good's never going to last forever, but.
Doesn't last
really
forever. But what's everyone's thoughts on the whole? I mean, first of all, Messi's situation and then Barca in general.
Well, you know how all of a sudden it was oh, he's actually leaving, and then 2 days later he signs to PSG. Must have been in the fucking books for ages. So you don't just leave. You don't just get told you're leaving the club, and then 2 days later
it was so weird though. So they went from he's leaving, then 2 days later he wanted to cut his contract, he wanted to stay and stuff. But
I reckon there's been loads of stuff that's gone on behind the scenes that I reckon we'll maybe never find out, but.
Realistically, he's the only team, and Man City, the only team that he could have really gone to.
What's he on a week?
At Barca, he was on $1 million a week, and then 25 million a year in loyalties or something.
He got a 25 million signing on fee, and I think he's 25 million a year.
Really?
Yeah, 25 million for 2 years with an option to go for an extra year, which he probably will do. But I was thinking about this today. They were having this discussion on Sky Sports, but mate, their front three's gonna be Messi, Mbappe, Neymar. Yeah. Do you think that could go if they get 2 years together? Is that gonna be the best front three of all time?
Could be.
Yeah.
Under Pochettino as well, by the way.
They're probably favourites to win the Champions League now.
Yeah, think of the football played at Tottenham.
Mate,
think of attacking that they had Son, Kane. Mate, it's a joke.
PSG on a free this year have signed Messi, Wijnaldum, Ramos, and Donnarumma.
Yeah,
And they've also signed to keep.
During a pandemic, can I just add in there as well?
Yeah, I know, which is a bit of a joke, like with City as well. I think City would have got him if they didn't go for Grealish and spend 100 mil. Everyone obviously thought he was staying.
Yeah,
I think if he wasn't City, because technically you're getting him for free. Well, I know you're not.
How old is he?
34 or something.
34, 35 maybe. Yeah.
What's Ronaldo?
36.
Yeah, a year or two older than him. Yeah, a year or two older than him.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah,
but you're right. PSG was some team. They signed that Hakimi as well. I'm pretty sure from Inter.
Yeah, he's good.
Who's meant to be class. Chelsea are in for him. PSG got a class team. But I was hearing today as well that they're obviously with financial fair play. They've got to get rid of. I think they're trying to sell 10 players.
Well, PSG.
PSG are trying to get rid of 10 players because of to obviously have their books balanced out and stuff like Barca.
Actually, probably Pesh.
Who what?
Who are they going to get rid of?
I don't know. I don't really know who they're getting rid of actually, but they haven't said. But I was thinking this as well. Do you think that that team's decent, but we saw it with the Galacticos, with Real Madrid. I mean, it doesn't necessarily guarantee a trophy. They're gonna win. They're gonna win the French league. They win it anyway.
Yeah.
But the Champions League's difficult as well.
It'll be really interesting to see how it pans out.
Three big egos come together. Obviously, Messi and Neymar pretty much like each other now. They play together, but
mates, yeah.
Mbappe having Messi coming in to steal the show.
I thought
Yeah.
Mbappe's
Mbappe's done
leaving,
that.
but there's obviously
He's been going
sounds
on free
he's
next year, I
staying
think.
Yeah,
free next
he's
year.
he's refusing to sign a contract, and he's on free next year, so he'll probably go to Madrid or
But
something.
sure, if you're Mbappe and a player like Messi comes in, that's the dream come true, isn't it? You're not seeing
That actually
you're gonna
that
help you
could
become a
convince him
better
to sign
player
a 2-3 year deal.
Yeah.
What happens to Di Maria? Just get fucking patched now.
Who?
Di Maria.
He plays a 10 or something. Play in the midfield as as a 10 or something. But
Plays in the League Cup.
I saw today that he plays in the League Cup. I saw today that Squawka Sports put up Messi had 778 games for Barca, scored 672 goals, had 288 assists, and won 34 trophies. And he's gonna win more.
I'm Messi over Ronaldo any day.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
but I don't feel that sorry for Barca because they've literally been. It's technically cheating what they've been doing if they're that fucked.
It's their pro, yeah.
Like
they're
they've
paying
bought like
players too much money
Coutinho for
for
like
too
100
long.
odd million.
Do
Like
you reckon they could go bust?
I think they will go, but I think if like it sounds like they're going to go bust.
Yeah.
After
They're in trouble.
They think how much money they're losing out on, like Camp Nou sold out every week, and
Well, yeah, but not even that. Like they've been ran poorly from the sounds of it for a good few years now, and
yeah.
you can't feel that sorry for them. Like folk were saying, La Liga should make like a exception and let them keep Messi because he brings so much money into the league and that. And it's like, well, if you're fucking Diego Simeone at Atletico or that, you're not.
Yeah, you're not about that.
You're
are
not
you?
bothered about that, are
Are
you?
you going to be that excited for the El Clasico in that?
Nah.
La Liga in general could be fucked. I actually saw today as well before I left that I remember I was telling you is like some company like was trying to do a takeover La Liga and they were gonna like invest $2 billion into the league and divide it evenly
few years
between
ago?
all the 20. No, like now.
Oh no! All right.
But they have to get unanimous vote of all the clubs, and Real and Barca obviously want to piss off and do Super League still. So they've rejected it, and Real Madrid actually today have just put in a legal thing to sue La Liga and this company, saying you can't, like what you guys are trying to do, you can't do. So I think La Liga's a bit screwed, like, and without Messi and Ronaldo. I mean, they were always going to leave or retire, so the league goes on, but they could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Like globally, like especially if you're in like places like America and stuff, that will like probably a lot more people watch them. Like you're gonna get up at 4 a.m. to watch games that don't have Messi and Ronaldo.
I wonder if it had anything to do with the Super League and that as well, like trying to get them.
Well, they're still in
Yeah.
it apparently. Those
Madrid?
two.
Yeah,
Madrid and Barca. are
Madrid,
still in
Barca, Juventus have still
Do
said.
you reckon
they're
they know
trying
that
to-
they're going?
it. I think they know they're
Yeah,
fucked, so they're like, we
trying
might
to
as
see
well
it.
just fucking.
They won.
Roll the
They
dice.
won something in court the other day against UEFA. They beat
Really?
UEFA in court over it. Yeah, I don't exactly know the details on it, but they beat UEFA in court. But I mean that is definitely the biggest news of the summer. I've got down here as well, just that we mentioned before we get into the Scottish football, that Arjen Robben retired this summer. I felt I didn't get made too much of a big deal. He was class.
Mate, he was so good, man.
Yeah.
So good playing off the right, that left
Where
foot.
was it? Where was he playing?
Did he not finish it as local?
Yeah.
Like,
I think he-
Local Amish team.
He played for MB on a Saturday, mate. Saturday, Monday with Scotty. But Arjen Robben's class. That Chelsea team is class. Of Robin, Duff,
yeah.
Joe Cole, Drogba. They had people like
Him and
Jet,
Ribery
Keshman.
totally like fucking changed wingers. Like
Yeah.
it went to being wide.
Cut-
as fuck
yeah,
coming
and cutting
inside.
straight
They
in,
were-
and
they
he was so
properly,
dangerous
were
cutting in,
so
wasn't
good at that, man.
Yeah, actually, I forgot how he was part of that Bayern Munich team. That's
Yeah,
class as
so
well.
good.
Chelsea, the team that started all this shit about all the money and that, it's their fault. Well, let's dive into the Scottish footy then, lads. Let's get it going. We're going to start by we'll talk mostly about Rangers because they're about to play tonight against Malmo, and obviously Scotty was a Rangers fan until this past weekend since they got beat. But like I think certainly for us, Greg and Matthew, we obviously like I was thinking about this today. Like I forgot how much I loved Stevie, like because he kind of went away, retired, went to LA, did the Liverpool like academy stuff. Like didn't really see him, and then now he's back for Rangers, and obviously I'm back here. Like every time I see him, I'm still like I love Stevie, so like I want Rangers to do well. But obviously you got beat Scotty the weekend. It's gonna happen. You can't stay unbeaten forever. A lot of mind the gap shouts the weekend before.
From yourself.
Hi, from my now it's the Edinburgh clubs in Aberdeen doing it. But on a serious note, though, like obviously tonight is a big game because you're gonna want to play in the Champions League instead of the Europa League. Like, what's your thoughts on this season?
If we lose tonight, Gerrard gets sacked, I think.
He's gone.
He's gone. Tonight's obviously huge. Like the hardest thing to do after going on a run like that and then losing a game is how do you respond? And I think this is the greatest opportunity to come back with a full Ibrox crowd tonight
I think he's
And a game you need to win. We're already 2-1 down. A game you need to go for. First 10 minutes is going to tell you a lot about how good this Rangers team is, and then with the mentality of it. I mean, a lot said about Rangers winning last season with no fans and the pressure. I think that's bollocks. Oh, that's the dominoes.
That's the dominoes. Someone could go get the dominoes. Go on, Matthew. You go get the dominoes. Let Scotty finish it. We're getting the dominoes in.
I can't concentrate.
That
now.
was quick, by the way.
Yeah,
That was quick.
those pizzas aren't cooked.
So tonight's the big game.
Yeah, and you're going to find out a lot about a lot of players tonight, and the mentality of 50,000 fans at Ibrox is going to be so loud. It's going to be a lot. I mean, I played in front of about 10 fans last night, and I was shitting myself. Imagine playing in front of 50,000.
Fair play for the 10-foot showing up at the
But I
race.
think I would have loved to have seen the team talk and listen to Stevie the last couple of days. I think he'd have got the team. His mentality would be, how do we respond to this? How do we go again?
Yeah.
A great opportunity to bounce back, and probably the biggest game under Gerrard.
To be fair, they didn't offer much in the first leg.
No.
Against Malmo.
No, we were. I think
Deserved winner.
we have been pretty. There's a few times last year they watched us, so we weren't great, and then there was one of those games where you just, whether it's a set piece or something, we salvaged a draw or somehow got a win. We've not been that great, but tonight doesn't matter how we get it done. Can you get through to the next round in front of that many fans?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's so the Ibrox tonight.
Yeah.
That'll be decent.
No,
That'll be
fair play to
decent.
Dundee United. That they had that place loud on Saturday, and they were right up for it, and they put pressure, and then finally Rangers been put under pressure. I think, and it.
I only watched the first half, but Dundee United
Yeah.
were fucking up for it.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a target on your back here this year, but like Greg, we had it last year with Liverpool, obviously a little bit different because of COVID, but like this is Gerrard's obviously, but this is Gerrard's biggest test.
Yeah.
Like now, because he never had it as a player either. Never won the league as a player, and then had to defend the title. Yes, it's here. Classic.
Stick it through there and we'll get it.
Stick it through there. Domino's Pizza.
We should do this
everyone.
podcast
What's the
every
thing
week.
on Tuesdays? What is it?
Two for Tuesdays.
2 for Tuesdays. Domino's.
Get us
2 for
sponsored.
Tuesdays. Yeah, sponsors for Domino's. But yeah, like he's never had to do it as a player, Greg.
Yeah, it's a fair point actually.
And I think now Stevie's won the league. That's what he came to do. Now Champions League's the next biggest thing for him. And if he's got a manager going forward to go into a bigger club, he needs to win, or needs to be in Champions League. So he'll be desperate.
It's also probably the next kind of step in, as you say, like for his managerial career, is getting that experience, especially this once everyone's touting him to go to Liverpool next, and that'll be his next step. So, like for me as a Liverpool fan, it'd be good to see him get that experience and see how he deals with it, and then obviously hopefully one day he comes to Liverpool and wins the league.
I think that's probably why like I'm like also investing in it, because it genuinely does feel like he's the next Liverpool manager, Gerrard.
Yeah.
Like it does. It feels like where else are you gonna go? Because
100%.
like Liverpool, even with the way that we do business in terms of signing players, like I know you can say, right, we bought Van Dijk for 75, we bought Alisson for 75, but even at the time we bought them, it's not like they were deemed to be the best players in their position. Like Van Dijk comes to Southampton, Alisson was a good keeper at Roma, but Liverpool just seem like they're going to do that, and I actually think it's the right thing. And like I obviously want Gerrard to come on and dominate like Fergie did at Liverpool if possible. But like, what do you think, Matthew? Like I don't know if you heard, but we're just saying like Gerrard never. This is the big thing for Gerrard, because obviously it's new for him as a manager, but even as a player, he never had to like defend the title. Like he's never had that experience.
Going for it for the second time is it's totally different. Everyone's going to be after you. It's so hard to do, but I don't know. Obviously, with Celtic, I have no idea what's going to happen with them and who's going to push them. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's going to be Celtic. I don't know if like Hib. I hate to say it, but Hibs actually look alright.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great
Might get it
pre-season,
right,
great start to the
great
season.
Pre-season, they've got goal scorers and that.
If they can keep that squad together,
If they
they're
can keep that
dangerous.
together, it's decent. But
They
if
might-
Gerrard goes for it for going for it for the second time is a totally different story. But
Yeah, and
it'd be
especially
interesting
with
to see what it does,
potential
like.
more European runs and stuff, it gets
Yeah.
harder.
Hibs are dark. Yeah, actually, it's a fair point. Hibs in terms of their squad, they're probably dark. But you say dark horses, massive dark horses, because no one's. When was the last time somebody split? I guess Rangers were at the league.
Yeah, they're gonna
like-
look at a full Ibrox.
I know, it's alright. I know. It's full, alright.
So wait, can you not get full stadiums in Edinburgh?
No, they can.
Just to do it, not yet. I don't think
Edinburgh City, I think.
official.
Is it
Right.
the
Said
council?
it-
Is
said-
that what
It's
is?
through
Yeah.
your council area. They decide what the rules are.
So
How many you can
Tynecastle will be
have.
full next home game.
If they've changed the
it
rules,
should
I'm pretty sure I saw that the Edinburgh.
Alright,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure like most councils are starting to say
So
yeah.
no.
now.
Yeah, Glasgow straight away went. Yeah,
Do
you
you
can
have
have
to
full.
prove
Makes
negative
use of-
test in that or not?
Nah, then you just rock up.
You just
Look
roll
at that the way. Like this is what it's about. This is why I moved back.
so much
Full
better.
crowd, absolutely bouncing. Champions League qualifier.
Yeah.
Champions League.
I mean,
next.
if Malmo come through that, fair play, because that's a tough test
Yeah.
going into a away crowd with 50,000
Was there fans at
people.
Malmo?
There was. It wasn't a full, but there was fans, and they were pretty loud, but nothing like that.
I reckon you'll beat them.
I'm gonna
John
be
Del
quite close.
Thomason is the manager.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be close. They're all right, like, but I think full Ibrox behind you, you get an early goal. Obviously, away goals don't count anymore in Europe, but it's what it is.
No, but
But-
if Rangers can do something well in the first 10-15 minutes and get the crowd right up for it, it's
Yeah, exactly.
tough test.
Exactly. I saw as well the other day. I noted this down when I saw it. This has been 15 years since Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Dundee clubs have all been in the
Yeah.
top league.
Oh really?
Year of
It's
the
been
derbies.
15 years since you've had all the derbies,
Right.
which is what a year to have it.
Yeah, that's sort of the leagues we grew up. I remember
Yeah,
and what
yeah, the
all
leagues
those teams are. That's like the big
It's-
teams.
It's tough acres. No one really breaks the big two.
I think
Like,
if
even I can't see Celtic not coming second.
No, if Hibs do well and keep that squad together, they've got a good chance of
Got a
finishing
chance.
fourth. Like
Rangers and Celtic have the depth probably going.
Who's finishing third?
if anyone but Hibs,
Jambos,
Hearts,
Hearts.
Aberdeen,
The Jambos,
Potentially.
Hearts coming for the league
Jam
title.
Tarts.
Man.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything else you want to say on the Scottish football? Obviously, it started. Like I've said before in previous podcasts, I've not been around to watch as much as of it being away for the last 8 years. So I'm going to try and get really into it this year. But I don't know if anyone else got anything they want to add.
I think it's going to be a lot more competitive this year than it ever has been.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good, like what Scott Brown and stuff are doing at Aberdeen. They look decent. Hibs look very good, and Hearts back in the Premier League. It's going to be a great season, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be class, man. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
All those players walking out there.
We're going to pay
class.
attention to the podcast. Or you're going to keep watching this.
No. We'll keep going, mate. We'll keep going. So, right, we'll move on to we'll move on to the English side of things then. I'm really excited for this season for multiple reasons. Obviously, the fact that life is back, football's back. You can go to games, you can go to the pub and all that. But I'm looking at certainly at the top half of the table. I'm looking at it thinking, I think any one of the four teams I have in my head, which are United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, I think any one of those four could win the title. And I think for the last few years, it has been City, Liverpool, anonymously. Did I say that right? Anonymously?
Go and spell it.
Anonymously? Yeah, I can't
that's
spell.
good enough.
To get in there, but I'm excited because I think this could be the most competitive Premier League, certainly at the top end, that we've seen. But I think what we should do is start at the bottom end. And actually, before we do that, I've wrote down here who in the fuck thought it was a good idea to the international break after 3 games.
Yeah,
The
no, they do that-
three
they do that
games.
all the time, and I hate that.
We have 3 games and then
Is
it
that
goes on
what
a
it
2-week
is?
break.
Yeah, you just get it back, and then
Jesus.
And like the internationals just aren't like. It is what it is. I mean,
get league table.
hi, Scotland. Guys, get his league table. Scotland have been obviously it was great fun with them in the Euros and that, and hopefully we carry on. But it's not the same in international, is it? Especially when you get the league back. But that was a shocking idea. So right, what I've done then is I've split this into 2 parts. So I've put who I think are going to be the bottom 10, right? In this. But I think that there's 3 teams that could rotate between the kind of 10th, the kind of 11th spot, if that makes sense. So you guys can disagree with me here. We can get into a bit of a debate if you want. But the 10 teams that I've put down who I think will be in the bottom half of the table are Brentford, Brighton, Burnley, Palace, Newcastle, Norwich, Watford, Southampton. These 2 are going to be controversial. West Ham and Everton. Who, by the way, I think could easily rotate around with Wolves, who actually think they're going to be pretty pish, but who could rotate with Wolves, Leeds and Villa. And I think apart from that, I think that's going to be the bottom 10.
It's a good thing Andy Jones isn't
I was
listening
about
to
to
this.
say,
Hi, sorry, AJ.
I think you've been harsh
Sorry,
to
no.
West Ham.
Right, well, I'll give my thoughts on West Ham, then we can get the convo going on the bottom half of the table. But like, I think that they obviously massively overachieved last season. I saw David Moyes' interview today. He hasn't managed, I don't think, someone can correct me if I'm wrong when they listen to this, he hasn't managed West Ham this time around in front of fans yet. I think he just took the job last year and there was no fans in the stadium. So
Right, where are you going with that?
I'm just saying that he hasn't done it yet. So I just think that he got given a new deal. He got given what did he get given? A 3-year deal after last season, obviously after he did so well. I think that everyone's expecting them to end up finishing at a decent level. I honestly think they're going to struggle because I think their starting 11's quite decent, but I think after that they're extremely thin. When they lose Antonio, they don't really have a striker.
I think when they've gone and done what they've done,
think it is really different. Who done that recently? Who done that last year?
Sheffield United.
They wouldn't have done that.
West Ham
so
finished. West Ham
difficult,
finished
man.
6th last year.
I don't know. It's a
2
really
points
tough,
off
It's
4th.
a tough one.
And
But,
in
yeah, but
fairness,
the whole season we thought they were
The
gonna-
whole
they
season
were
we kept saying,
Yeah.
oh, they're going to fall apart. Tommy Sojcik's going to fall apart. Blah blah blah. And
They
then,
never did.
quite rightfully, AJ made some good points in the podcast that he did with you. And let's be honest, they probably did kind of fall away.
We had them in
slightly
our
at the end
top
of the year.
4.
Yeah, but they
I
finished.
think we had-
They generally looked
I think we had them
nailed
finishing
off the top
3rd
four.
on like 80 points or something.
Yeah.
At
But
one
still,
point.
I mean, but if you offered West Ham fans 6th at the start of last season with everything that was going on, I think overall they had a good season. So I think they'll finish in the top half.
I can't
You think
believe you've
they
come
finished
for.
in the top
I
half?
can't believe you've come for West
I
Ham.
think they'll definitely finish above Wolves.
So, all right. So we're debating about West Ham. I mean, I think that's fair. I'm happy to they're one of the teams that I think can finish in the top half. What are we thinking about Everton? Because Rafa Benitez going to manage them. He's a really good manager. Was at Liverpool, did a great job, won the Champions League. Had a couple of close league title runs with them. But like, as soon as he loses like the first 2 games, it's going to be rough.
Yeah, Everton fans.
Well, as his fans getting on his back and to
Yeah,
turn
they
it
don't
on,
want him
yeah,
anyway.
100%.
Yeah, some of them are already on his back.
I think
They've had a
Everton
rough
needs
summer.
someone to come in and play expansive attacking football because it suits
Yeah.
their DNA and their nature. Like,
How good were they
I
at the
think
start of
they
last season
struggled.
with Digne up getting out
yeah,
the park
but
and-
I just think I think they need someone that's going to come and do that and play open expansive football.
Apparently, Jimmy Rodriguez
Is he
away
going to
as well.
play? I
He's
don't-
away, and then
Where?
Benitez gonna
Sigurdsson's-
play-
Says he hates living in Liverpool.
No, he did it.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, no, he did. Doesn't want to live in Liverpool anymore.
That's
So-
surely not.
They
Yeah,
said
doesn't
if anyone,
Oh,
anyone gives them a relatively
Oh, what
decent
top
offer,
that
he can
is?
go.
Yeah, and then
Sorry, that is the
Yeah.
top that needs to get
Is that
purchased
an old
for a
school
night out
retro
now.
top?
Yeah, that you
Yeah.
could wear that on a night out.
Why are they not wearing blue?
it's like, is that
Well,
not the
like,
strip that they wore?
Even in the last game, you wore like black or something. 'cause
Yeah, but that was
they were
away.
like, all like Alfredo.
But he's not.
Oh, go on, Aribo.
It's just
Shouldn't
like-
even talk. Wait, man, you say expansive attacking football with Benitez?
no, that's what he
I'm
said.
saying
He
he
that's
needs-
what
I
he
think
brings
they-
someone in that
Oh,
will do
right,
that.
I think I just feel they need that. I
Why?
feel like getting,
Why? Because of what the
just
players
their
they've got,
DNA
or
and
just
that,
the
it's
DNA
fucking
is
Everton, you know what I mean?
go and
It's
take it
like-
to teams and
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
play.
I don't know. I just feel they need that.
They got a
like,
bit of quality in that squad to go and do that. As well.
maybe they're at a point where they need a bit of like structure in that.
Yeah.
But they are a bit all
Well,
over the
it's
place
a
with the
weird-
managers and
she's-
signings and that they've done recently.
They
Is
keep-
Calvert-Lewin injured?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
I think he might miss the first game. But
And he's put Richarlison in your team.
no, Richardson's not
Alright.
on my fantasy team.
I won't
Ev-
give you any more of my tips then.
Everyone came 10th last year. They're not coming 10th, but like, sorry, I'll just get their
They got off a pretty decent start to the season, did they? not?
But I'm looking at like
Yeah, and
But
Decoy
we
got
said the
injured.
whole time
Yeah.
last season, like starting 11 was decent, but you have to remember they also have one of who really should go down as one of the best managers that's been around, Ancelotti, to coach them, to like do a
Yeah.
good job, to coach them. We said as soon as they lose any of that starting 11, it's a big loss in their squad.
Yeah.
Not only that, James is going, so your midfielders now are Sigurdsson, who, I mean,
Who?
we're not even going to comment on that.
Yeah.
Gylfi Sigurdsson, we're not even going to comment on that. But
Is he not? Is he not a pedo?
yeah, well,
Hey,
Matthew
Matthew
said it.
Playing for the youth
Matthew
team
said
next
it.
year.
Could apparently win a pedo. We can't say that. But like then they've got like.
Is he
Greg,
not getting banned? Like,
I think he might be.
They get the jail.
Ah, he might be. Greg, we were saying the other day like they've got Alan and Decore who are great, but they're two holding midfielders that aren't going to offer you a ton going forward.
Yeah.
They've signed Damari Gray, who was at Leicester, went to Bayern Leverkusen, signed him for 1.8 million.
he went for 1.8
They've-
million.
But then they've signed Andros
Rapid.
Townsend
Yeah,
and,
I
and
watched-
Asmir Begovic.
Whoa.
So they've gone and got Townsend and Gray. That's random as fuck, by the way.
They'll be good for the championship next season.
That'll be good.
That'll be great
When they're
for the
sitting a
championship.
4-4-2 under
Yeah.
Benitez and he's got to work back all the time.
Yeah.
Begovic playing centre mid or something.
God.
Townsend will do that, but
Yeah, but
That'll be
it's
tough.
just-
That's tough to watch.
I don't know. I don't see. I think Everton. Benitez is a good manager though. Like tactically, he'll be quite tight. They'll be hard to beat. So,
But I don't know. I think they could finish bottom half. They came 10th last year.
Can you imagine the atmosphere at the first derby.
I know.
Benitez
mate,
going back
honest to God,
Anfield,
if he loses, if he loses the first couple of games,
He's in a lot.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble.
It's a
So-
huge risk from Everton.
Is anyone got any disagreements over Southampton, Watford, Norwich, Newcastle, Palace, Burnley, Brighton, and Brentford?
you see who
being in that
Southampton
one?
signed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Southampton signed Adam Armstrong for Blackburn. He looks really
He's
good.
good, man.
I've literally put looks a good player. Matthew likes him.
Yeah,
on
I
the
really
notes.
like him, mate.
unbelievable when I was looking into him. I watched YouTube videos of him before this podcast, doing my research. He also scored 29 goals last season in the Championship. And he literally is Danny Ings.
Well, I was about to say Danny.
He's like he'll be like mini Danny Ings.
Don't know where their goals are going to come from.
He is literally Danny. No, the way he plays, he's quick, he's strong. Like he is just a finisher. Like get him in the box and he'll score goals. But like he can like drift off if he wants a little bit, like on the videos.
Him and Harvey Elliott last year were.
I was about to say Harvey Elliott's got some class assists in there, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll get onto Harvey Elliott and when we talk about Liverpool, but he's a decent signing, Matthew. Like I like Southampton, I like Ralphie, but they're in the same boat. Like if they lose one of their starting 11, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Well, they were so weird because last season they were playing really good football and that, and then they got pumped like 10-0 by someone, and then they just went downhill from there.
Villa want to sign Ward-Prowse as well.
Did they?
Villa what? So they're just trying to. They're basically just trying to replace.
Yeah, then they've had like two.
But they've got that Buendia from.
Yeah, from Norwich.
Yeah.
Who's, by the way, is I had him in my fantasy team. Who's got wee orange next to him, so he came out.
Yeah, he's struggling, I think.
But he's meant to be decent. Like, I remember him playing for Norwich when they were up in the Prem. Couple years ago.
Sorry, just on Villa, are they gonna play with Watkins and Ings as a two?
I hope so.
Because they didn't do that last season. They mainly played a 4-3-3 and just Watkins by himself. Are they going to play maybe like one of them wide and then one of them in the middle, or what?
Watkins going to play off.
Watkins play off the left, maybe.
Yeah, Scotty spot on. Again, doing my research, I watched a lot of I watched some Championship podcasts and stuff, and when Watkins played at Brentford, he played off the left.
Yeah, that's what you need.
I think he might be quite
Brentford.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off if they haven't scored the goals. Give Ings, you're the goal scorer. Watkins, you.
Yeah.
Do what you
Armstrong's a good signing. I'm actually looking forward to seeing. I mean, and it's a Championship, but 29 goals is a lot of fun goals, and he looked good. He looked decent on the videos I watched, and like you said, Matthew, remember you talking about him last season? You said you really liked him. So, but yeah, has anyone got any other qualms over any of those other teams?
How about Wolves?
I think Wolves will be in the bottom half, and I think West Ham will be in the top half.
Yeah, I mean, we can chuck Wolves into this part of the convo because I think Wolves could be pish.
I think they'll be awful.
They've got the Porto manager from last year is now in charge.
Who have they signed?
Nobody.
And Jimenez is he
Jimenez
playing?
back?
Yeah,
he's been back in training. He's been back in training. I don't know.
He scored in a pre-season game, didn't he?
Wolves have signed fucking no one. That's who they've signed. I mean, maybe they've signed one or two, but in terms of actual players, here I've got Wolves here. They've got loads of folk back on loan. They've signed. They signed him. I thought that Atenori was already at them. I've got it up here on the transfer market thing. They literally haven't signed anyone.
Coach, are you going to bring up that you thought Adama Traore would be the man of the Euros? And
I did think Adama Traore was going to be the player of the Euros.
Did you really?
I did. I thought that he was just going to come on and run through people.
I don't think he came on.
So be the man of the Euros. He got subbed on once. Be the man of the Euros as a sub.
Yeah, like just like there's always one player that kind of just stands out.
And then his price tag goes up by about 50 million. I thought it was going to be him. Like, I don't know. I just had a weird feeling. Literally never put in Spain. So probably shouldn't be doing a podcast. But I'm intrigued with Brentford because I've watched a lot of like stuff on Sky and that about them. I'm sure you guys have probably heard the same, but like they're very like Moneyball. Like they're very Moneyball in terms of how they do things. Like they're interesting. They play open football. The coach is a riot.
Who?
Have you seen him like play like the guitar and that?
Yeah.
Like, I was like going out in the street and like playing the guitar and shit. Like just for
right.
like
Who's this?
the Brentford manager.
Oh right. Oh yeah. No, yeah.
He's absolute riot. I mean, it's so tough to come up, and this is the thing, right? I don't Watford. I know a little bit about because they were up a couple of years ago, as with Norwich. Like Norwich and Brentford play so open and so attacking.
Yeah.
But like
against weaker teams last season, that was good. They won enough games to go up, but
But we saw with Norwich when Norwich did that 2 years ago. They got fucking
I think they're like a Leeds, but they're not as good out of possession as Leeds.
I think that I hope to see because the Norwich have still got the same manager. I hope that he's learnt from that. And like it's like right, we'll still be expansive, but we need to be a little bit.
Yeah,
more
it's a great point. He's another year under his belt, and a lot of experience.
They kept him, which is I think a good thing. They've come back up with him, and I think that
there's a similar group of players as well.
Yeah. And they'll be like, right, have you learned?
You got Billy Gilmore in your fantasy team?
No, but I think Gilmore will do.
Gilmore's on my bench.
I think he'll do.
Maybe he's in my starting lineup.
I'm buzzing to watch him play for Norwich because for him to play, he needs a run of games.
He's playing Liverpool in the first game, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Well.
I think I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. I think it's a great move for him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, just he'll get enough game time, but
mate,
he'll
play. He'll just play, man. He'll play, and Norwich. You know how Norwich like to play, mate.
You think they'll keep playing all season?
Good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he'll play every game.
Yeah, I think he'll be one of the best players.
Well, they wouldn't be signing Billy Gilmore if it wasn't for that, would they?
Nah, I
They're
reckon
gonna go and sit
He's
him.
not a squad player when he's
No, exactly. Yeah.
going there.
It's
I reckon
a-
that's a great move for him.
It's an interesting one, because like we talked about it, like Souness said, like you should stay at Chelsea and train around all the better players, and I'm like, I get that point of view, but
Nah,
then
he's
at
at
the
the
same
point.
time,
He's at the point where
he's
he's proven. He's at the point where he's proven
That's
himself.
what he did
and-
when he left Rangers. That's what he did. He got the experience of playing with top players. This is how the top players do it. Now you need to go and become a top player
I
yourself.
look at the likes of like Hudson Odoi, and I look at him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he's been there for a while, mate. And see when he plays, I actually
Yeah.
think he does alright. Like I even think someone like him going out on loan and actually playing
it's-
football would do him a world of good.
At some point, there's only so much you can
So
learn from
hard in
other
that
pros.
Chelsea
that
squad.
You've got to go and play football yourself and
They're
do it
constantly
yourself.
bringing folk in.
And the best thing about it,
constantly.
he'll be one of the biggest names, the best player in that Norwich team. He's gonna have to have a lot of responsibility.
You'd
can
expect
have
him to
to-
start.
yeah.
You expect if Chelsea have loaned them out.
He will be. He started all,
Tuchel
all the
probably likes
pre-season
him.
games.
I think he's
He's
Yeah,
been
Tuchel
good in the
likes
pre-season
him,
games.
So, like,
Did you
Tuchel
see-
gave him a couple of chances.
The best bit about his side, did you see that when he signed for Norwich and his mum was on the
Oh,
camera
mate.
and it's a yellow and green scarf and she
She's like,
touches the green bit?
I
She
don't
goes,
like that.
I didn't like green.
That's class,
Dad
right,
was
Pointer?
like, she doesn't like green. I don't like green.
Yeah, Norwich. I hope Norwich have learned. The last couple of teams that we'll quickly talk about before we pick our bottom three, is I've put Brighton. I've just put could be Pesh. I do like Graham Potter, but I don't like. I think there's only so long you can like float around. Like, where did Brighton even finish last
You
year?
actually
Yeah,
forget
they-
Brighton are a
They're
Premier
in
League
my
team.
bottom three,
You
but
think
they
they
are.
need to evolve?
Brighton
Are they in
finished-
your bottom three?
Brighton
Yeah.
finished
I'll give you
16th last year.
Brighton easily could have played Championship
Greg
last
dropped
season.
one of his bottom three.
Yeah.
already.
Greg's got Brighton in the bottom three.
Yeah,
What
I'm
about Brighton could be Pesh, don't know. I've put, after Matthew saying it last year, I actually liked your shout. I've put Burnley. Could this be the year that they finally go?
So I'm gonna put out there Burnley in my bottom three.
Burnley are in your bottom three.
They can only play a 4-4-2 for so long when football
4-4-2.
evolves. It's like
4-4-2
with Barnes
big
and
man.
Wood, like fuck
Yeah, it's
me,
pretty good. I
man.
bet they're hard. I mean, they will be hard to play against though.
McNeil
Yeah.
will be their best player. Someone will sign him.
The thing
Burnley
that-
will go down.
Who?
McNeil.
Yeah.
Beans, you're right. The one positive they could have is that no one else plays like them. And
Yeah.
it's hard
So
to
it's
play.
hard.
It's hard to play them, but
Fans are
Like-
back.
mate, like have
Yeah,
they like that's Burnley fans about? Yeah, of course they have, but like have they like signed anyone in the last like 5 years? I feel like they just had the same team.
Honestly, you're asking. the
Like
wrong
I'm sure
person.
I'm sure they have, but I mean I'm what
Well, I signed
but-
Lowton and stuff, didn't they? That,
Yeah, mate, he did well for me in fantasy last year. He got me a couple of points to win the league. But Burnley could be Pesh. The last two teams on this list. Then, by the way, Palace. I don't know if any of if you guys have remembered this because I forgot until I was doing research of this. Patrick Vieira is their manager.
Yeah.
Uh,
Suppose he's
I was-
Zaha's
Could go down.
thriving
They
under Vieira.
Could go
he's
down.
what?
I was going to put them on
Zaha
bottom three, but I
suppose
thought
he's
Zaha
thriving
keep
under
them up.
Vieira.
Yeah.
He's had a
Yeah.
good pre-season.
Zaha's
That,
too good.
generally, that's what they need after Uncle Roy is left. They need a bit of energy. Somebody that's going to come in, give them a bit of spark. Somebody who's played at the highest level, come and give them a bit of excitement. And if you can get boys like Zaha playing football,
Can you believe Roy Hodgins was
just-
there for that long?
yeah.
He retired last year as well.
Tell you what, he didn't do like again. Where did they come last year? Like,
They
they
must have been,
finished
like,
14th, mate.
aye.
Though Palace could be in trouble. Like Vieira was a fantastic player. Was one of the best centre midfielders who played the game.
He's only
What's
been
his management career been?
MLS.
Was it?
Was it fucking
I'll have a look.
Atlanta or something, was it not?
I'll have a look while you guys continue to converse.
Does
on.
seem like he'd
New
be
York,
very.
Palace, New York.
Oh, was it?
Was it?
yeah,
He
he,
went to New York,
Oh,
mate.
it
he
does
went.
seem
He
like
went to
he-
France though. He went to France as well.
And managing France.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not connected to the internet. Fucking hell. Yeah, he went to France. But I think they could be in trouble. And then, I'll be honest. This hurts me to say it. I've put this next team on bottom three, but Newcastle could be in trouble.
I put them on bottom three as well. That
Newcastle-
was the one I thought was a bit controversial.
They're so bad to watch. They are so bad to watch.
They
And
got booed in pre-season.
Yeah.
Even Callum Wilson came
so
out.
toxic they are. Like
Callum Wilson once said the training was horrendous.
Yeah, Callum Wilson said that like the
No
one
way.
like the coach that takes the training is like better than Steve Bruce. I mean,
Yeah.
I might be butchering that a little bit, but along those lines, like he's
so. What, he's having a go at Steve Bruce then.
your
Sure,
star
yeah.
strikers come out in the public and said that, which is interesting.
Any of you's
Newcastle
got him
could
in your
go.
fantasy team.
No.
I had him in my draft earlier today, but he has been moved out only because I think Newcastle are just going to sit with a bank of 10 and not attack.
Well, they did do that.
Yeah.
Last
I know, and he's decent enough to get goals. Like Callum Wilson, like that. I mean, that would have been someone that Southampton or someone could have signed and went for Armstrong, but Newcastle could go down. Right, who wants to do the bottom three first then?
Well, you basically know mine.
What are you going
I
for,
was going
Beans?
to go. I think Brentford will go straight back down.
Okay, so you're going Brentford. We don't
Right.
need to do an order. Just
yeah, I think Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle.
I like that. You think Watford and Norwich stay?
Yeah. I think Norwich stay this time. like as you say, that man just had a little bit. Had a year in the Prem now, so I think they'll stay. But yeah, I think that's my bottom three.
Right.
I did only look at this about half an hour ago.
That's fair, mate. It's all fair. Good revising.
I'm going not in any order. Burnley, Brentford, Watford.
So you've been Burnley in the bottom three for the second year running.
Yes, and I'll be right this time.
I think Burnley are in trouble. So sorry, who you went? Burnley,
Brentford, Watford.
Brentford, Watford. Scotty.
Brentford, Watford, and I've totally fucked it because I had no research about Southampton.
That's great news.
I didn't realise they signed the boy that scored 29 goals. I thought
Even
Ever
still,
since-
mate.
ever
Even
since-
with a
Yeah,
striker and
Signed the boy that had 29 goals in the championship. You
Yeah,
also only signed as we were
that's
driving
worse,
up.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Nah.
worse than my shouts last year.
I don't know,
Sure.
you had some
ever
last
since
though.
Big
What?
Ralph
Saying
cried
Burnley
after beating
will go
Liverpool,
down.
that team's gone downhill.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That was a shambles.
I just thought no wings, mate. Just,
Yeah, no,
Oh,
but
mate,
there's
that's
no
class.
saying that the boy that's gonna come in
Yeah, he's
like
gonna bang
now is gonna be like scoring that
Yeah.
many goals in the Prem. So it makes sense. I've gone Watford, Brentford, and Newcastle because I just thought it'd be boring
So
if I said
vanilla,
the three teams
mate.
that came up.
so vanilla.
I think Brentford. I actually hope they do well because they play good football, but I think they're gonna get like Norwich. They'll get caught out and they'll need to learn. I think Norwich will learn. Watford. I don't know. Watford just come up and go down all the time.
Yeah, they do.
The
Them
only
and
team that
West
sort of
Brom.
come up and has played that.
I'm like it's
How
not
many
very
years has he
enticing.
got left in him?
I saw him today saying he's got nothing left to prove in his career. He's done.
great.
He's done.
Conquered
He's done what he needs to do.
He'll be hard as fuck.
Fair. Well, honest to God, I hope Newcastle don't go down because I love Newcastle to death, and we're probably going to get to go down to one of the games with our coupon win. So I say love them to death. Support Liverpool, but anyway. Right, top half of the table then. I feel like things have started to heat up in the last few days at the top half of the table. City, obviously, with the big one, signing Grealish for 100 million, which we'll get into. Probably still trying to sign Harry Kane before the window finishes. Chelsea have just signed Lukaku for pretty much 100 million, 97 million. United have signed Varane and they've signed Sancho. Liverpool have signed Kanate, and that is currently it. I like I said at the start, I think that at the top end of the table, I think any one of those four teams.
What a
could win the
ball!
league.
What a goal from
That's it. Rangers have scored.
Some go from Ryan Kent.
Is that Alfredo?
Nah, I think it's Connor Goldson.
Ryan Kent has just cut inside and
Kent
whipped the
just
ball
whipped
back
it back
post.
post and
Alfredo
Buffalo's
celebrated.
cla- Buffalo's claiming it.
Yeah, so that's all the goal you needed. By
So
the
you
way.
could put the volume on for the goal, but the remote's over there. 1-0 Rangers against Malmo. It's huge. That's what you needed. First 20 minutes, get that
Yeah.
goal. That's absolutely huge. Yeah, I think at the top of the Prem this season, I think City, Liverpool, United, Chelsea, I could see any one of them winning the league. What are your thoughts with the rest of the teams that are left there? So obviously the teams I just said, and you've got Leicester, Arsenal, Spurs, Villa, Leeds.
I think Leeds do really well again. I think with a packed stadium, I think they're just
bumping it
gonna.
on
I
road.
think they're just gonna be up there now. Like
They came 9th last year.
they came 9th.
Yeah.
And
I think with a packed stadium, and you know they're not going to change football. You know
Yeah,
fans
exactly,
will be
yeah.
going
The
nuts
fans
to
see
be
with
fair.
fans at Ellen Road, mate. It's going to
and
be
they've got
unreal.
a lot of their players have got a whole lot better. Rafinha's become a total player. Calvin Phillips, great experience in the summer.
He's had a good year. Their home record will be really good.
yeah.
I bet it's just that away record which you need to try and.
But I think Bielsa, he's obviously so stubborn, but he's a smart man. He'll have learnt a lot from some of the doings he
They
got
signed
last
that boy
season.
from Barcelona. What's his name?
Yeah, I've got it up here. That's a good signing actually. Give me 2 seconds. I've got it up here.
Messi.
They've signed Leo Messi. Fucking hell, have I got the Leeds one? Here it is. Yeah, they signed that Junior Firpo, who, by all accounts, from what everyone was saying, when Barca sold him because they have to, because they've got no money, is actually really decent.
Yeah.
Like apparently, if they didn't have to sell him, they would keep him.
Yeah.
That's what they said.
I mean, look at Ibrox.
I know,
Yeah, it's
absolutely
rocking, to be
bouncing,
fair.
mate. Bouncy. That's fucking quality to see. That's what it's about. So, well, what are you? So, you guys reckon Leeds?
I think Leeds will.
I think Leeds will do
cause
well.
So many
What's
problems
a good
again.
season for Leeds? What's a good season for Leeds then? They came 9th. If
Top
they came,
6.
So
Is that
top.
ambitious?
Do you think top 6 is like?
It's finishing 6th place is some effort in this league.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you, Can. I think the top 4 pretty much writes itself this year. I'm not.
Top 8,
I don't know in order.
Do you
but-
think?
And
that,
yeah, and for another, they're only the second season back in the league as well with fans back. If they finish top 8, that's
Yeah,
an
it's
achievement.
probably
I think that like we used to do this at high school. Like we used to say, like at the start of the season, we'd be like, right, we'd have like the coaches what we thought our goals were, and then we'd have like the girls would then pick what their goals were. But we would always say like, right, well, like where do we think we are? We're about here.
Yeah.
So like, what's pushing above that? So like, I think you said, I think if Leeds can get into honestly just Europe, like even if it's 7th and get into the Europa League, I think that's like the big goal. But I think if they finish in the top half again for the second season.
What do you think Bielsa's goals are? What do you think he generally thinks they can achieve?
I think he wants Europe. I think Europa League he'd be happy with.
And do you think he's aware of the fact that he'll still lose so many games playing the way he does? He's just that is the way I do.
I think the opening game, well, not the opening game, but I think the game on Saturday at 12:30 between Leeds United could be like 5-5.
Well, Leeds and Man United. What a fixture that is with fans back. What a fixture that is to start their season.
I think Moran's only just out of isolation as well and just doing his medical today, so he probably won't be there.
Rafinha will be running rings around him.
He's in my fantasy team. So yeah, I reckon for Leeds, if they can push into Europe, then that's a big achievement. If they can get in the top half again, I think that's fine. What about Villa then? They've obviously sold Grealish for 100. They've invested well though. They've signed Ings. They've signed Leon Bailly. They've signed Buendia. Like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do without Grealish.
On paper, they've recreated Grealish.
Yeah.
Statistically, like numbers wise, but whether you can replace a man like Grealish and what a loss that is to the squad, to boys
They
like
had a terrible end to last season. That could go one of two ways. It could be fucking.
But then
I was surprised
Grealish didn't really feature towards the end of last season. A few bad injuries and stuff.
Yeah,
exactly. And now they don't have him.
And
They ended up finishing 11th.
Yeah, and at one point they were like, what, 4th?
They were genuinely challenging. Yeah,
Pushing for the top 4.
I don't know. It's quite a tough one.
might put them in my bottom 3.
Going down. Imagine.
It's tough to replace it.
and John Terry away as well, isn't
I
it?
think they made class.
Yeah,
John Terry away. They were really good defensively after coming out of lockdown.
Where's
I don't
John
know.
Terry off to?
Great.
Don't know. They decided to like try. He wants to pursue a career being like a manager. Instead of being an assistant, but yeah, Matthew. Grealish is, but I think Grealish is really good. I think he has loads of potential. I think as always, he's been overhyped over the summer. Again, I mean, if at the end of the day, if you're that good, you should probably be starting for England.
That's a tough one.
I'm not saying that he's not a good player to start for England, because I get that like Southgate plays differently, international football. That's hard
for international squad to break into.
The talk about him is like he's Gaza and that. Well, then you should be starting. If
But
you're
then,
that level,
are you signing him for him now, or are you signing for Grealish for what he can be? And
you're signing for what he can be. He's
become?
25.
Yeah.
But it'll just be interesting to see how they do without him, because sometimes it's not bad. Like when Liverpool sold Coutinho, I actually balanced Liverpool out there.
Yeah, it might almost galvanise that team and say, right, guys, come together. We've lost our key man.
But I was watching like some of his highlights from last season. He does create a lot of chances for them.
He gets the ball so far up the pitch for them and creates them so many deadlines.
Stephen Warnock
I think
actually
he liked being the man.
Yeah.
I think he liked being. I think
Yeah.
he suited
Which
when he was the guy.
Yeah.
He's obviously
And the boy who guy as well.
At City, sorry.
Pep Roulette, mate. He's in Pep Roulette. Anyone got him in the fantasy?
Nah.
What's the
Can't risk
cost? Does anyone know?
8 million or something. Can't risk Pep Roulette.
No, I can't risk Pep. I don't have a single City player in the fantasy team for the
I've got
weekend.
one and stuff.
They play like Spurs and Arsenal in the first two games.
What's your thoughts on Grealish leaving? You can't argue with that, man.
Well, Grealish leaving.
Grealish leaving.
Yeah,
To go and work under.
He had to go do it.
I think Villa must have said to him, like, look,
Yeah.
like,
You
you want, like, we don't really have much of a choice.
Yeah. 100 million's a lot to turn down. And for Grealish to go and work
Well,
under
did you
Pep
not see what
Guardiola.
Lorna came out and
Yeah,
said?
how good
He
is
said
it?
the 100 million release
If-
clause.
He's a
They
sport
felt
director.
no one would ever come to
And
it.
if they
So
do,
he came in with
that's a
100
money you
million.
can't turn down.
I know Alfredo's down here, Scott. He was a sporting director at Liverpool as well.
Yeah, really well spoken. How good was his interview?
Yeah, it was really
Good
good.
top class.
Yeah, like you say, he said they set it for 100 million, thinking, especially in the pandemic,
Yeah.
no one's in a bid for it.
And if
then
they
Man
do.
City came along and said, we don't, money doesn't matter to us. But you've got to go. You're going to play for essentially the best manager in the world, top 2 managers of all time that have ever been in the game. I mean, I think you've got to go.
The big part of him leaving was Champions League football as well. He wanted to play in Europe, didn't he?
He should be playing at that level and playing with those types of players week in, week out. That's decent. Who else is in the top half then? Spurs.
Spurs are dead.
I mean, if they lose Kane, they're struggling big time. If they somehow manage to keep Kane, they'll always do okay because he's going to score 25 goals, which makes a huge difference. But if they lose Kane,
What's the script?
they're
Where's
struggling
Kane
big
going?
time.
What's he doing?
Honestly, I don't know.
It's gone quiet the
Yeah,
last
it has
couple of days.
gone.
It's literally
Yeah.
it's almost like he
Do you
played.
think he's staying?
He made his move to be like, I want to leave. they have then come out and been like, we're not gonna like
I
sell
think
it.
the whole missing training was blown up proportion.
Matt Cannon said he was in the Caribbean on holiday.
I was.
No, but he knows-
sweating or something.
He knows what he's doing by like he'll have had the conversation. You're back on this date, so
Yeah, he's
at the
missed
end of the
it.
day, like if he wasn't supposed to be there until a certain day, surely Spurs would have come out in the media that day.
Yeah.
And gone, oh no, like he's isolated.
Yeah, that story wouldn't have come out.
It wouldn't
He
have come
was
out.
not-
So,
yeah.
so something's up there. Like
weird one.
it's him playing his hand of
Yeah.
this is just so you know I want out and I'm making it public. I think. Which I don't know. What do you like?
Has he's not been back to Spurs since the new manager came in, has he?
He
he-
trained
He
on.
trained this week.
So he has
trained
been
this week.
training with her. Okay,
So
so he,
apparently Nuno's, which again, what they made a good point on Talksport, which is weird, is that Nuno just sat down with him yesterday for the first time. They're like, surely if you're, it was Danny Murphy. It was like when I played football, if a manager came, like whether it was the same manager for a few years or it was a new manager, the first thing you do is you speak to the captain and the best players.
Yeah.
Like you call them and be like, hey, like how's
Yeah.
it going? And it's like the fact that they're saying he hasn't even spoken to him is a bit weird. Like you think like you
And
take
Kane's
a job
like-
and,
Kane seems like the
call
type of guy
Kane
that
and
wouldn't-
FaceTime him and be like, this is my plan, like what are you thinking? You're the captain of the club, and the fact that he's not even done
Kane
that.
seems the type of guy he'd get in touch with the manager as well.
Yeah.
They'd make it happen straight away.
Yeah.
You know,
Is
so-
it rash to say I think United might get him?
really.
I think United could seek in the back door.
I could see it go, but I mean, he is going to cost like what 150 million,
How much he spent on Sancho?
78 or something in the end.
Yeah, 73 it was. So I think Spurs are going to do, which myself, Matthew and Greg definitely saw Liverpool do for a long time, is float around 6th to 8th, which is a minging place to be. Because you can't really sign anybody that wants to come. You got to get
talks of that saying that Martinez
from Inter apparently. So
well good man.
if they
Then
can get
that
him,
fell
that'd be
through,
fun.
was not because of Lukaku leaving.
Also heard that apparently Barca are interested in him and he wants to go there, but
Yeah.
I don't know how Barca can sign anybody. Arsenal.
Oh, mate.
I don't know how Arsenal are going to be. I actually wrote this down today, which was interesting, which could play in their favour, is they're not in Europe.
What a laugh it was that Arsenal tried to get into that Super League.
Yeah, it was a joke.
Mate, they are so far off being in the Super League.
Arsenal are not in Europe, so they
Yeah,
play one
that's
game a
a
week.
huge-
So they play one game a week. That's
Really?
big.
Plus,
Because
like,
for a
That's-
coach too and a new coach to be able to just do your training every day and then
Yeah.
play one game, that's massive.
especially Arteta.
Yeah.
They're gonna look to play. You know what kind of football they're gonna look to
If
play.
they again, it's similar to like that Everton. If they can get their fully fit squad starting 11, they've got a decent team.
They've still got some donkeys though, don't they?
Sign Ben White
Why
for.
do they keep playing
50
that Rob Holding over like who's the boy you let to go to France?
Oh,
The guy with the afro.
No, I know what you mean, Matthew. I know what you mean. Yeah, they keep playing Rob Holding. I mean, they've signed Ben White for 50 million.
Oh, yeah.
Varane, I know Varane was in the last year's contract, but Varane was cheaper than Ben White. And Varane's essentially probably in the top 3.
Varane's
centre
not
halves
English
of the world.
though, mate.
Yeah, which is a joke. They've signed Ben. I also put this down as well. Like, why is there a premium on English players? Why do English players like get like 20 million tax on top?
You need a certain amount in your team, don't you?
Yeah, that's a fair point actually. I've got no idea how they're going to do. I've put that down here. I've got no idea how they're going to do. No European football may be huge for them because Arteta can get his ideas across in his coaching. And let's not forget they're also doing the Amazon All or Nothing documentary this year.
Or what's the story? Is it Bamiyang still there? Still happy?
Bamiyan's still there, kicking around his gold Ferrari.
Yeah. Lacazette, gold,
Showing up the train
gold
when he
Ferrari.
Gold Lambo.
Just showing up the train when he
Kieran
wants.
Tierney turning up in his Ford car.
Let's go back.
Exactly. Before we kind of finish it up and do the top 4, and we'll talk about them kind of as a whole. Leicester.
Class really well.
Big statement beating City.
Like,
Really, really well.
Varane, do you think Iheanacho plays?
I don't know. It's so hard. They've also gonna got that Daka. I think I think he maybe knows that Varday's not gonna play.
He's not going to play a full season.
Vardy's coming to the end.
That Daka looks really good, and Iheanacho just has been scoring goals for them. Brendan Rodgers just make players like Iheanacho good.
Yeah.
He's a
He
coach.
Makes them good,
He's a
man.
coach.
Like Harvey Barnes, he makes them.
He made
Good.
Justin
Madison.
class last year.
Justin,
Made him good
Fofana
on both
coming
feet.
in, like,
Fofana,
Fofana's
bad
a
one
good
for Fofana. Getting
Yeah, fans lost.
broken leg.
Fans decent. He's
Sorry, I
really
don't know if
good.
you've kept up to date with the. Gonna give you a little tip here for fantasy.
Correct.
Don't know if you've kept up to date with the
Mate,
preseason.
you
that,
finished second.
but
place
Ryan
last
Bertrand is on fire.
Yeah.
And he's on all their set pieces.
Yeah.
Just been out there.
That
That's
was
my
on,
fucking. That's
was
the
on the
only tip for today I'm giving you. Is
that was
he
on the
puts it
scale.
on because you know when he was at Southampton, the only reason he didn't take them, well, he took them from certain angles because left foot, but because Ward Prowse was on
year.
there. It's like,
He's an absolute wizard.
mate, he whips in some naughty balls.
You're right, Matthew. They've signed Daka from Red Bulls Salzburg for 27 million. They've signed, I'm going to butcher this guy's name, Bubakari Samari from Lille for 18 million. That's probably not right. Sorry,
where's
pal.
he play?
He is a defensive midfielder. Signed Ryan Bertrand on free. They've signed, that's it. Then they've got a couple of players back on loan. This is my thing before we get into which I'm assuming is everyone's top 4.
Yeah.
After 11. Well, the teams apart from Matthew. But I think that Leicester have really fucked it by bottling the top 4 the last 2 years. Because by getting into the Champions League, even though I know it's Leicester and the other teams still have more of a pool, but by missing out on that in the last 2 years, you miss out on different types of players that you can sign.
Yeah.
And I think that the fact that they haven't taken advantage of when United have dropped off, of when Chelsea have dipped off until Tuchel came, and the fact that Arsenal are obviously been shite for a while, I think that was their opportunity to try and stay up there, and I don't think they're going to be able to punch above their weight.
What do you think Leicester's goals are then? What do you think
I think their goal has to be getting to the Champions League.
to get into Champions League?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
finishing
they have to.
top 4.
And I think for the last 3 years, I think they've had a really good shot. And I'm looking at it this year, going, I think you're done.
Or do you think
They've
that
had
squad they've got
stinking
won't get top
finishes.
4?
Yeah.
The last 2 years,
Yeah, they've
I
had
mean, you
great
should have really got
chances
it last year. The fact that Liverpool got in it was
Yeah, they were pushing out.
outrageous, but
Third last year. I think,
Yeah,
I
true.
don't know if you guys agree with that. Like Leicester, I think they've really fucked it with that.
yeah, I'd agree.
I don't think they can. I don't think they're going to be difficult. They're going to. I think I've got them. I think they'll finish 5th. I think they'll be difficult. They're going to be a hard team to play. They're going to beat a lot of teams, but I don't think they've got enough in the tank to compete with the 4 other teams.
It's so hard.
Also, James Van Assen still chats on going to Arsenal. I don't get it, apart from money in London, but I don't know.
That makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. If I was him, I'd stay at Leicester. But
Brendan Rodgers all day,
Yeah,
man.
great,
Brendan Rodgers is really
great
good.
manager.
So good, man.
So let's finish. Let's wrap this up then, because the pizzas are through there and the game's on, and I'm getting hungry. I mean, has everyone got United, City, Chelsea, Liverpool as their top 4?
Yeah. I think Chelsea win the league.
I've put Chelsea to win the league as well.
I think Liverpool. I
Scotty?
think they've officially said.
I've got Chelsea win the league.
I've got Liverpool.
You've gone Liverpool.
No,
You
it's
biased
not-
bastard. We're trying to get all the
I'm
fans.
totally not being biased.
No, it's fine. Well, let's Scotty and Greg then, and I'll jump in with my thoughts as well. Why do you think Chelsea are going to top the league?
Lukaku.
Do you think that's all they were missing?
Yeah, and I think he's going straight in my fantasy team as soon as he's on that app. He's in, and he's staying in for 38
It's
games.
so obvious he's going to get 20 plus goals.
But it is.
Even that Chelsea team's a joke.
Yeah.
Right, I'll be honest, right? I think it'll be between Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Why not City?
I just think they've gone and done it, trying to do it again. And I don't.
Guys, Alan McGregor just handballed the ball outside the box.
Nah.
He could go here.
Could be a red card for McGregor, folks. He looks like he's trying to pretend that he didn't
Staying on
handball
the
it. No, he's still on. Still on. Free kick to Malmo here. 33 minutes in. Oh, it's right on the edge of the box as well.
He
Yellow
got
card.
booked for that.
Yeah. So you just think City can't do it because it's just hard to go again.
It's just hard to go again. I don't think.
But if they've signed Grealish, if they get Harry Kane, does that change your opinion?
If they get Harry Kane,
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know. They don't have a striker right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. To be fair, if City get Kane, then
Surely
be
they don't go
toast.
spend 100 on Grealish and 150 on Kane.
And a
That's
pandemic year.
a joke,
Football's
man.
different though. It's a different world. Those guys are living in a different world.
I refuse to watch football if they sign both Grealish and Kane.
I've had a job for 18
That's
months
cheating.
and they're buying Grealish and Kane for 20
That's fucking cheating.
I mean that's fair, Matthew. Like, I agree with you, Greg. Sorry, on the Chelsea front, that Scotty. Well, you haven't said anything yet. What do you think about Chelsea?
I think under Tuchel towards the end when they got after he'd been in for a long enough time, they looked unbelievable. Off possession, looked aggressive, getting the ball back. All they're missing is somebody that can put it in the net. And with Werner playing off him with his pace and the chances he creates, somebody that just knows how to score goals in Lukaku, I think they just look so dangerous.
Yeah, I think that like I've put down here like Chelsea for me last year. Like I didn't realize under Lampard. I don't know like why, but like they're quite big and aggressive. They've got a big, like, strong, tough team. They're like, but they're all obviously, which you have to be at this stage. Like, they're good at football, but they're like big. They're strong.
Yeah.
They're physical.
I think Kante will be the best player. In the league.
Yeah, I think Kante. The
What do you-
midfield's good.
what do you think happened with Lukaku at United? How was he good before he went to United?
No, it was just United was at that rebuilding phase. It's like impossible. It was impossible for anyone to be good.
Save from McGregor.
Yeah, fair.
It's just so difficult.
It's just weird. Like, you'd be gutted if you're.
I think right now,
fan. If he comes in bags and like 25, 30 goals for Chelsea, and you're a United fan, you're like, oh,
right now you've got the perfect storm of a team that needs somebody to score goals and a guy coming that scores goals.
I mean,
I
he was
agree.
at West Brom. He was a machine.
He's a player.
Yeah.
How good was it at West Brom? West Brom had Lukaku, man.
They
His big dreadlocks.
His last game for West Brom, they not scored a hat trick against United.
Yeah, I think he
he
might
did.
have.
It was like fucking 6-4 or something.
I think
What
that,
about what about Liverpool? What's your think on Liverpool?
come on, Beans.
I don't know, like generally getting Van Dijk back is obviously like a new signing for us pretty much. It'll be interesting to see who he plays at the back. To be fair, like if United goes in there, because I really like Joe Gomez as well. To be fair, I don't know. I just think like we had that 2-year spell of when we were really really good, and I think we'll just be I don't think we'll get back to that, and I think we'll be like. I think it'll go Chelsea, City 1 and 2, and then United, Liverpool 3 and 4, and I don't know what order those two will come in.
That's
That's
exactly
what
what I've done.
I've got Liverpool 39 4 because I can't pay United above Liverpool. So
Yeah.
I've gone Liverpool, Chelsea, City, United.
what like
I was tempted between United and City. I don't know.
Liverpool's an interesting one though for me, right? Like again, trying to take as much as my Liverpool hat off as I can is that team won the league, didn't get to celebrate with the fans, then had actually, by the way, we were flying last year until Christmas. Even after Van Dijk, we did okay and we we're top, and then we ended up really struggling. But I feel like certainly as a fan, I feel like and I think that the players and the staff, like they missed out on what should have been like we've won the league 30 years, and I think that full Anfield. All the fans didn't get to celebrate it. I think it'll be like we're fucking coming for it, and I think that I'd like us to sign another midfielder.
I think we will
because
before finish. I think we're gonna.
I think we are because Keita and Chamberlain have shown that they can't be trusted for a season in terms of injuries. Henderson can't be trusted in terms of a whole season of injuries, and to be honest, neither can Thiago so far. Yeah. So I think that my concern is that we need Wijnaldum played. Wijnaldum played every game. Yeah, but Wijnaldum was never injured. Yeah, Cameron was never injured. So I just think that if we can sign there, I've watched a lot of the preseason. Salah, Mane have had their first summer off in God knows how long. They look sharp as fuck.
They look so good.
I
think Jota will phase out Firmino.
I think so too. I think I actually look at it now. I think Jota's going to be the new night.
He'll be ruthless going forward.
I think Jota's
like fucking pace. Like,
and I've heard folks say like, well, but he doesn't do the job Firmino does, so it changes Liverpool. It's like, yeah, you evolve. Yeah, like you evolve as a group to play in a different way. Like he's Jota's got 10 goals in him a season minimum.
Yeah, easy.
And Firmino doesn't. Like Firmino's lucky if he hits 10. Yeah. So and then Jota will still do the work. Jota can run around like a madman and like come back in and help. So I mean, it's an interesting one. Obviously, Trent, Alisson, Fabinho have all signed new deals. Van Dijk's going to be back. We've signed Kanate. We'll wrap up on Harvey Elliott.
So good, by the way.
Yeah, he was class the other night, wasn't he?
I don't know why is he. I don't know why he's not really getting talked about as much as because like I know he's not exactly done anything yet, mate. But like you just look at him and
he's still only 18.
Fucking good. He's 18 years old.
So he's probably just flying under the radar. He probably still won't play that often.
Yeah,
no. I think he'll start at that.
I think Pep and Klopp deserve so much credit for putting him into the second midfield role. Yeah. And now turning him into like a creative 8 or 10, because I thought that myself as well. But I don't think he doesn't start every game. If we start to get injuries, Klopp and that are gonna go ahead and chuck him in there. He doesn't start like our big games in that, but I think coming off the bench will be really influential. He'll be our person to come off the bench and make things happen and get goals and assists in that 100%. Yeah, I'm really excited for him.
I think he'll be good.
18 years old, man.
Imagine what a life, eh?
I know.
Some left foot, he just glides about the place. He's class.
Right. Sorry, I know I said we'd wrap up on that, but we haven't talked about them. We have to. Last one.
Those pizzas are smelling through the wall.
Man United, Sancho and Varane. Pogba looks like he's going to stay now that PSG have signed Messi. We'll finish it on this. Is this the season that Ollie has to be up there for the title at the end of the year? He has just signed a new deal to 2024.
Surely, he's just been given money. And
he's had time now.
Those two. What? Right, so still the Sancho signing, this is what I don't really understand is, so I guess, are they not getting rid of Martial? Is he staying?
No, they've said, so I think Ollie's came out today and said they're not selling him.
So the only thing with the Sancho signing is I think it was the perfect time to bring Greenwood through and give him a chance to play, and I guarantee he would have scored goals and done well. Because I think he's that good. But I just feel like with the Sancho signing, it's like, surely Sancho's going to play it on the right instead of
Greenwood.
I do have a slight feeling
Yeah.
though that I think Greenwood might start playing down the middle if because Cavani can't play every game. I think Martial out of that doesn't play.
yeah.
I think you go when Rashford's fit. Obviously, you go Rashford. I think Greenwood might evolve to playing down the middle because he's a goal scorer, and then play Sancho off the right. It's pretty decent.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And they're obviously going to be better at the back, as you say, Varane and Maguire, like everyone
Be
always goes on
interesting.
about.
Scotty's thinking
Someone-
about that pizza.
Someone
No,
being,
they've actually got a football right point.
Maguire and Lindelof being quite slow, and now they've obviously got Varane there, so be interesting. I think
Great business, done good business. Steve.
Really
I
good
think
business.
I think they'll do. I think they'll
I'm
do.
I
actually
said- I
surprised
know
that they got Sancho. Was kind of obvious because they tried to get Master. Really shocked that they got Varane. Didn't expect.
Another centre midfielder though. Is that not everyone?
Yeah.
Everyone complains about Man U's midfield.
But
with
again,
Fred,
though,
Matic,
but if
McTominay,
they've
Pogba,
given-
like.
If they've given him a deal to 2024, so he's got 3 more years. Again, though, that could be like, right, we'll build to it. We've got a centre back now. We've got a right winger, which were 2 areas they needed to get. And then it's a difficult market right now as well. With COVID, is like, right, well, we're giving you a 3-year deal. Can you get close and then come in and to add to that? Pogba's probably going to go
Does that mean they're committing to Pogba going on a free?
potentially.
I
Again.
think if he stays, he'll have a really good season.
Yeah, I think he could.
Always says he's not going to sign a new contract, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Always the same.
His
It's a-
agent's a
it's a
nightmare
ploy.
there for that sort of stuff, isn't it?
It's a ploy to
I
get
think
more money.
what United were missing was a centre half with a bit of pace to go alongside Maguire, and that's a dangerous combination.
Yeah.
After playing last night, I had a boy with pace next to me, and it makes a hell of a difference.
Maguire's class.
Makes
I don't
Maguire a hell of a
understand
better
the whole
player.
Maguire shit hype. I don't.
No,
get
he
it.
just needs
Nice
somebody.
class.
He needs somebody
So
next to
good.
him with a bit of pace that
Yeah.
can make up for him, and
That's
then
all he
Maguire, unbelievable defender.
Varane's the one. Right, so we're all. I've gone, by the way, I'll just read it out. I've gone Chelsea, City, Liverpool, United, and I've put Leicester 5th, Spurs 6th. Potentially Arsenal because they don't have European football 6th, but that's about
where
it.
we go.
That's about it.
I think Arsenal finish above Spurs. If Spurs lose Kane.
Yeah, Spurs lose Kane, Arsenal
That's a
finish
big
above
one.
Spurs.
There's still a few more signings that might pop up. Big ones.
Right,
Done.
I think that's
We're
good.
done?
We'll get the pizzas in.
Let's
we'll
go, team.
we'll watch the Rangers game. Thanks for doing that, me boys. To wrap up, I have put Liverpool 3rd because that's what my head says. But honestly, my heart says that we're fucking coming for it this year. The boys are coming for it. We didn't get to celebrate the title. I tell you what, give City Mbappe, give them Haaland, give United to whoever, because we're fucking having that title this year.
You just lost 3 listeners.
That's it.
Mic drop.
Cheers.
Just boys.
Oh my god, I'm fucking.